Hi students, how's it going? It's Pete Posner here at Big Break English, your British English teacher, and today we're going to talk about how to make complex sentences using reported speech. Okay, now this is important so that you can work towards getting a band score 7 for grammar range and accuracy, and it's particularly useful in Ielts speaking part 2 where you get a type of question like talk about someone you get on well with, or describe someone who gave you a good piece of advice. Okay, and well, just before we start, just to tell you that you can download my free ebook 12 tips for scoring higher on IELTS writing task 2. Just go to the link in the description of this video and you can download it free. My gift to you. Okay, so let's get on with the lesson. Okay, guys, here is one of those questions I was telling you about. It says, talk about some good news you received recently from a friend or relative. Talk for 1 to 2 minutes and consider the following questions in your answer. What was the news? Who told you? When did he or she tell you? And how did you feel? Okay, so I'm going to be the student. I'm going to give a 2-minute talk, okay? And my task for you is I want you to listen for 3 activities I talk about. Okay, 3 activities. Are you ready? Okay, so I'm going to time 2 minutes, starting now. Okay, so the other day I received some really good news from a former student of mine. At the moment, he's in the UK, in London. He's learning English at a language school, and well, he told me that he was having a great time, that he had started his classes a few weeks ago, that he was very happy with his classes. And I felt very excited for him because I know what it's like to have this type of experience, and also very proud because I feel like I was a part of it, a part of the preparation for his time abroad. And also, we talked a little bit about the culture in the UK, and we talked about food, specifically curry. And he told me he would try a chicken tikka masala, so I was happy about that. That's very popular in the UK. And well, finally, we talked about travel, and he told me he was going to travel all around the UK, to the north, to Liverpool, to Manchester, where I was born, and so there are great times ahead for him. And finally, I forgot to say that he told me he had met a lot of people, right? Which is great because when you go abroad on your own, like he has, it's really important to meet people, and that way you get to know the culture and other cultures too. So with the foreign students, so yeah, he's having a great time. Okay, guys, how did you do? Did you get 3 activities? So I think in total there were 4, right? So any of these are correct. So one was learning English or taking classes, English classes. Okay. Another was eating curry, or specifically tikka masala. That's an Indian curry in the UK. Okay. Another one was traveling around the UK. And also there was meeting people. Okay, so those are 4 activities. Hopefully you've got 3 of them. Okay. Okay, let's look at the language, the reported speech. Okay, we use reported speech to say what another person said. Okay, verbs often go 1 tense back and pronouns can change. Let's look at some examples from my answer to see how this works. Okay, so direct speech, okay, I'm having a great time. Okay, imagine my student, this is what he said directly to me in the email. I'm having a great time. Okay, now I report this to you. and I say, he told me he was having a great time. Okay, so the tense goes back one, so from am to was, and also the pronoun changes. So I am having a great time changes to he told me he was having a great time. The same happens with this second example. Directly in the email, he said, I started my classes a few weeks ago. But when I report this to you, I say, he told me he, right? So the I again changes to he, had started. So started, past simple, goes one tense back to, this is past perfect, right? Had started. And my changes to his. So had started his classes a few weeks ago. Okay, let's take another look at those tenses and some other changes in tenses. So as I said, in reported speech, the verb often goes one tense back. Okay, direct speech. Okay, so present simple, example. I am happy with my classes. This is something else he told me, right? I am happy with my classes. Now that tense changes to past simple when I report it. He told me he was happy with his classes. So was happy, right? Am happy changes to was happy. Present continuous. Direct speech, he said, I'm having a great time. That's present continuous. And when I report it, it changes to past continuous. So in my answer, what I said was, he told me he was having a great time. So was having, from am having to was having. Present perfect. He said, I have met a lot of people. Present perfect changes to past perfect. So when I reported this, I said, he told me he had met a lot of people. So had met, that's the past perfect. Present perfect, have met. Past perfect, had met. And finally, past simple. He said, I started my classes a few weeks ago. That changes to past perfect. He told me that he had started, right, his classes a few weeks ago. Okay, so I started past simple changes to he had started past perfect. Okay, actually there are a couple more. Will in direct speech changes to would in reported speech. That's one tense back. Okay, so he said, I will try a chicken tikka masala. Right? I reported this to you as he told me he would try a chicken tikka masala. And finally, am, is, are, going to. That changes, again, one tense back to was, were going to. Okay? For example, he said, I'm going to travel around the UK. And I said to you, he told me he was going to travel around the UK. Okay? Okay, so it's your turn, right? Time to practice. Okay, can you write the reported speech for the direct speech? Example, this is direct speech. I have classes in the morning. Okay, reported speech. So, remember, the tense goes one back. So I have classes, that's present simple, has to change to past simple. And the subject, the pronoun, also has to change, right? So I have classes in the morning. He told me he had classes in the morning. So that's past simple, right? Okay, so can you do the same for 1 to 5? Okay, so just write next to the direct speech, the reported speech, right? So he told me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Okay, so pause the video. Take 3-4 minutes, okay, and then we'll check together, okay? Okay, how did you do? Number 1, I visited the British Museum yesterday. Okay, so that's past simple, right? Okay, it has to go to what tense? Past perfect. Okay, so he told me. Now we have to change the subject pronoun to he, right? And then visited, had visited. That's the past perfect. Okay? And the rest stays the same, right? The British Museum yesterday. Number 2. Okay, so here we have, I think I will get a takeaway. All right, maybe a Chinese, right, or a pizza, something to take out. Usually you take it home with you, right? Okay, so here we have I will get. Okay, remember, will changes to would. Okay, so he told me, right? He told me, and also the pronoun, change the pronoun, so I changes again to he, and then will to would. So would get, right, a takeaway. Okay, good. Number 3. We have had a lot of fun in our class. Okay, so that is present perfect, right? Okay, so he, remember this is my student, right? He told me, okay, now careful. Here we changes to they, okay? He told me they, okay, have had present perfect, that changed to past perfect. So they had, right? A lot of fun in, now there's another change. Our, right, changes to their, okay? In their class, all right? Okay, doing good. Number 4. We are learning so much every day. Okay. Again, the we is going to change to they, right? So he told me they, right? And we've got are learning, present continuous. So change it to past continuous. Just change are to the past of be with they is they were, right? And this rest is the same. Learning so much, right, every day. Okay, and finally, number 5. I'm going to Italy soon. Okay, so again, he told me. It's always he told me because I'm talking about what my student told me. Okay, so he told me, I changed to he. Okay, am going changes to was or were, past continuous. He was. Right, so he was going to Italy soon. Okay, and that's it, finished. Okay, students, that's all for today. Okay, so you learned about reported speech, okay, which is going to be really useful so you can add variety to the complex structures that you should use in order to work towards a band score of 7 in Ielts, grammar range and accuracy. Okay, and it's particularly useful, I would say, in IELTS speaking part 2, okay, but use it in other parts where relevant, okay, and remember to download my ebook, free ebook, 12 tips for scoring higher on IELTS writing task 2, okay, in the description of this video, okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, okay, bye bye.